You removed your eye mask and stretched your arms, feeling all refreshed after 2 hours of peaceful sleep. This is the benefit of flying in a private jet. You got a peaceful travel experience without any disturbance. You looked at your side and was surprised to see your boss still engrossed in his laptop. You left him working when you went to sleep and found him still working when you woke up. Do you ever take a break? You finally said it, grabbing his attention. Work doesn't stop, Ryan. You chuckled softly. Even on a plane, huh? We have a meeting as soon as we reach there. You should take a break if you don't want to fall sick. He looked at you, giving his usual cold look. You look fresh, that's enough. We are here for work and not for a break. And he again started doing his work while you gave him a weird look. Always think of himself all high and mighty. Let's see how long you can work without breaks. You whispered to yourself and again put on your eye mask, but his voice again echoed in your ear. We are landing in 5 minutes. I hope you don't use this time to take another nap, he said without looking at you while you rolled your eyes and put the mask in your purse. As you reached your destination, you both checked in your hotel room. As soon as you see the bed, you just climbed on it, feeling the comfort. Jungkook shook his head and put his bag and mobile phone on the table. I want to take another nap here. It's so fluffy. We have 1 hour to go to the meeting. I hope you don't take your words seriously. You sat down and looked at him. Can you be a little unserious sometimes? Always in a serious mood. We are here for a meeting, but that doesn't mean all we should think about is work. Relax, take a break. It makes your brain sharp just like me. That's why all you could think about is to sleep all the time. You got up and walked near him before wrapping your arms around his neck. Dear husband, this is not coming from your secretary, but from your wife, which I think you forget sometimes that exists. Why are you always in such a workaholic mood? Look at me, sometimes I feel like I'm still your secretary only and not your wife. He brushed a strand of your hair behind your ear, but I can see you getting activated in wife mode throughout the day. Now I'm going to take a shower. You should also consider getting ready. He simply placed a kiss on your forehead and walked towards the bathroom. How about we take a shower together? He looked at you and shook his head. Then we'll never be able to attend the meeting. He said before closing the door while you chuckled. I have the world's most anti-romantic husband, but it's okay, he's mine, so what can we do? Jungkook and you have been married for a year now. You were his secretary, but not long when you both fell in love, even though your personalities are completely opposite to each other. He is a very cold and reserved type of person who is always serious about work and things in general, whereas you believe in enjoying every moment. No wonder you are excellent in your job, and that's what made Jungkook to fall in love with you. But your nature was somewhere attracted him the most. After getting ready, you both went to the venue where the meeting is happening. It's a very important project that Jungkook had worked day and night, and you have never seen him nervous, but today you could see that he was worried and nervous. You were there to support him. You knew that his hard work of tireless nights was going to pay off today. You were confident that you guys were going to get this contract and it will change your future. I'm thrilled to announce that we are up for this project. This is a very impressive proposal and we are excited to move forward with this partnership. he announced, and you could see a smile on Jungkook's face. You were happy to see his achievement, but more than that, you were happy as a wife. Thank you, Mr. Kim, that means a lot. Mr. Kim got up and they both shook hands. More than you, we are excited to work with such a dedicated and well known businessman. Heard a lot about you, Mr. John. Couldn't say no to this project. I assure you that you won't be disappointed. Everyone congratulated each other. Jungkook looked at you and he flashed him a warm smile. Then let's sign this contract without any further ado. Jungkook nodded as he signed the project. You noticed the slight shake in his hand. You could see that he was in a low of energy from the morning and his responses were slower than usual. As a wife, you started to get concerned about your husband's health. Mr. Kim signed his part of the contract and extended his hand to a successful partnership. He said warmly. Jungkook stood to shake his hand, but as he did, he swayed slightly, gripping the edge of the table to steady himself. Your worry peaked as you saw the sweat beading on his forehead and the way his eyes seemed unfocused. As the formalities concluded and the room erupted in congratulatory chatter, you moved to his side. Jungkook, are you alright? You whispered, placing a hand on his arm. He nodded, but you could see the strain in his eyes. I'm fine, he whispered, but his voice was shaking. Just then, Mr. Park, the CEO, approached you both. Excellent work, Mr. John. This deal is a game changer for us. Jungkook forced a smile. Thank you, Mr. Park. I'm glad we could secure it. Mr. Park looked Jungkook as he sensed the tiredness in his eyes. You don't look well, Jungkook. Perhaps you should rest. Jungkook shook his head. He's stubborn sometimes. I'm fine. We have the next meeting in a few minutes. No, you are not okay. You said couldn't able to hold back your worries. They both looked at you. You need to rest before you worsen your condition. Mr. Park looked at him. Mrs. Ryan is right. You should rest. We'll postpone the meeting. Jungkook sighed, giving up in front of his wife. Okay, but I'm sorry for the delay. That's perfectly fine, Mr. Jungkook. You have been a lot for us. Your health is more important, and I don't think your secretary will let you attend any other meeting in this condition. Jungkook just gave a nod and looked at you. You are lucky to have such a supportive and loving wife. Now I'll leave both of you alone. Rest well. He left from there while Jungkook looked at you. Happy now? Ask me if I want to punch you right in here. Just look at yourself, and you were still insisting to attend a meeting. We are going back to the hotel and you are not leaving the bed until I will give you permission. You walked out of the room while he chuckled. So Miss Secretary is in wife mode now. He followed you. The elevator door closed and Jungkook leaned heavily against you, resting his head on your shoulder. His body was weak, now the tiredness was heavy on him. His ears turned red and you could feel his heavy breath against your neck. You never listened to me, and now look at your condition. I'll be fine, sweetheart. I'm just tired, he said while his eyes were closed. You moved closer, although you were a little mad at him for not listening to you. This is more than being tired. You have a fever and you're still not ready to accept it. Always do what you want to. I seriously feel like leaving you sometime. He lifted up his face and looked at you. As if I let you do that. You are not going anywhere. He hugged you. You could feel his burning body against yours. He gives on all his coldness when he feels his lowest. Then listen to me if you don't want that to happen. Until I give you permission, you're not leaving the room. But we have to finish the meetings. I can't let it fall through. You have already secured the deal. The team can handle the rest. You need to take care of yourself. I don't want to disappoint anyone. You won't. You have done enough. It's time to let others take over, he said, caressing his back. He sighed, finally letting some of the tension leave his body. You are right. I hate feeling weak. You are not weak. You are just human. Even the strongest people need to rest sometimes. The door of the elevator opened. You broke the hug and supported him to walk to the hotel room. As soon as you were inside, you helped him to the bed. He collapsed onto it, his usual composed look completely gone. Jungkook, you are burning up, you said as your voice filled with worry. You quickly went to fetch a cold washcloth from the bathroom, pressing it gently to his forehead. You need to rest. I'm calling a doctor. He weakly grabbed her hand while his eyes glossy with fever. No, don't. Just stay with me. You looked at him. Don't insist like a child, Jungkook. You need help. You are really sick. He shook his head, his grip tightening on your hand. Please, just stay. I only want you and I'll be fine. You sighed. I'm here for you, but I'm still calling the front desk to see if they can send a doctor up. You stepped away and made the call. The hotel staff assured you that a doctor would be up shortly. You returned to Jungkook's side, sitting on the edge of the bed. He immediately reached out for you, his fingers clutching your sleeve like a child. Just stay close to me. You patted his head and placed a soft kiss on top of his head. I'm not going anywhere. The doctor will be here soon. He closed his eyes, but he didn't let go of your hand. I feel so cold, he whispered despite the fever burning through him. You pulled the blankets up around him, trying to make him as comfortable as possible. You are going to be okay, just rest. He nodded slightly, but his eyes remained open, unfocused. I'm sorry, I didn't want to worry you. Tears formed in your eyes seeing him like this, so vulnerable and childlike, completely opposite to the strong, stoic man you knew. It's okay, Jungkook. You're not troubling me. I'm here for you always. I love you. He seemed to relax a little at your words, his breathing evening out. But moments later, he whimpered softly, his body shivering. Why, can you hold me? He asked as his voice was shaking. You settled beside him and hugged him tightly. You could feel his shivering body. I'm here, just rest. The doctor will be here soon. I'm sorry for being stubborn. I should have listened to you. You caressed his hair softly. It's okay. Minutes felt like hours as you held him, his fevered body trembling in your arms. You were talking to him, hoping to provide some comfort. He nuzzled closer, his breath hot against your skin. You are so warm, he mumbled while you smiled slightly. You kissed the top of his head, feeling the heat radiating from him. Just relax, Jungkook. The doctor will be here soon. He nodded weakly, his grip tightened around you. Don't leave me, he whispered while his voice filled with a childlike fear. I'm not going anywhere. I'll stay right here. After what felt like an eternity, there was a knock on the door. You gently released yourself from Jungkook's hold. He tried to hold you back. I'll be right back, you assured him before hurrying to the door. The hotel doctor entered, quickly assessing Jungkook's condition. He has a high fever, the doctor said, concern evident in his voice. We'll need to bring it down. You watched anxiously as the doctor administered medication and checked Jungkook's vitals. Will he be okay? You asked as your voice trembled. The doctor nodded. With rest and proper care, he should recover, but he needs to take it easy for the next few days. You thanked the doctor and saw him out. Then returned to Jungkook's side. His eyes fluttered open as you sat down beside him. The doctor said you'll be fine, but you need to rest. He said softly, taking his hand in yours. Jungkook nodded. His eyes were heavy with exhaustion. Sleep with me. I only want you and I'll be fine. He asked, his voice small and childlike while he sighed. I'm not a medicine, okay? Now look at yourself. You are looking like a child who needs his mother when things go wrong. You said, laying down beside him. He immediately curled into you, resting his head on your chest. Because you are everything to me. Now caress my hair. You chuckled, seeing your usually cold husband completely turning into a small kid. Imagine when we have kids and you will behave like this. They must question what actually their father is. They won't. I will always make sure that they know that you are mine before them. You chuckled. As the medication began to take effect, Jungkook's fever slowly started to break. His breathing evened out and the trembling reduced. You held him close, talking to him until he finally drifted off to sleep. Watching him sleep, you realized how much he needed you, not just as his secretary but as his wife. In his moment of vulnerability, he had shown a side of himself that few ever saw, and in that moment you vowed to always be there for him. Jungkook slept for more than 4 hours, must be the longest in his life. While he was sleeping, you kept checking his fever. Seeing him sleeping peacefully felt so good. You showered him with kisses while he must be having no idea. After some time, he woke up looking fresh. The shine of his face returned. Feeling better now? He pulled you closer and wrapped his arms around you while nodding. Yes, but that doesn't mean you can leave from here. You're going to stay in bed with me all night. You laughed a little. Wow, I should click your picture and upload it on the company website. They should know how their cool CEO is all childlike in front of his wife. He looked at you. As if I'm scared. Do it. Everyone knows that a man is always like this with their favorite woman. You raised your brow in amusement. Oh really? So I'm your favorite woman, huh? He gave you a weird look. Why? Don't you want to? If I say no, will you find someone else? He came closer to your face. No, I'll show you that no woman can be like you. You laughed. You know how badly I want to kiss you right now, but I can't because I don't want you to get sick because of me. You looked at him. You didn't think about it while hugging me all this time. I'm sorry, but I can't stay away. Then don't step back from kissing me too. Before he could understand anything, you pulled him closer and pressed your lips against his. He completely hid you under him and kissed you passionately.